Good morning. I wanted to share with you something that God has recently challenged me with. And in Matthew 5, verse 16, it says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." And as Christians, we all have been commanded to let the light of the gospel shine through us to bring glory and honor to God. And one of the things I love about this church is that it gives us a lot of opportunities to do that through the ministries that our church has. And our church has a lot of organized ministries, whether it's the bus ministry, whether it's jail ministry, camp, Jolly 60, nursing homes, the RU ministries. I'm sure I'm missing all kinds of them. But our church allows us and provides for us opportunities to obey God's word. And God has really touched my life through the bus ministry. When I lived in Tennessee, I was a bus kid. And I don't know, I think I was maybe 3, 4, 5 years old, started riding a Sunday school bus. Perhaps you've heard my dad's testimony on how a bus worker came to him and shared with him the gospel, and he was saved. Our family ended up everybody being saved. We ended up going to church together as a family. And through a series of different events, God brought us to this church. And I remember I was in 6th grade. My sister worked on the Lake Station bus route with Mr. Crawford, and they needed some help. And my sister recruited me to help, and I came out, helped with that event, but then I started coming out and working on the bus every week. And I was happy to do so because God had changed my life through the bus ministry. And then when I was in high school, I helped start a Black Oak bus route. Later on, worked on some of the Gary routes and worked there in Etna and downtown Gary. And then I was approached to take over as bus captain in Valparaiso. And for 30 years now, I've been the bus captain there in Valpo. And there's a reason why I'm telling you this, is because for 36, 37 years, I've been able to take advantage of organized ministry of our church through the bus ministry. But all that changed when COVID-19 showed up. All of a sudden, we were restricted with some of those organized, church-prepared ministries that we were able to serve in. And a couple of weeks into that, even though I was able to maintain contact with my folks and I'd still go out and visit on my bus route, I was really limited to what I could do. And then it hit me, God hit me that Matthew 5:16 is still in the Bible. And here for all of those many years, I was serving God with the right attitude, but I was depending upon my church to provide that opportunity for me. And God hit me, and he says that I am still supposed to let my light shine. I am still supposed to share the gospel of Christ. And it sort of made me pay a little bit more attention to those that I was interacting with, that I still needed to share the gospel. And Brother Olson, love that tract that you prepared, and we've given that out. And actually, my wife has been really good about that because I don't like carrying stuff. But I challenge you to be giving out your tracts. Maybe you're in a situation where bus routes were able to get started and we're slowly getting back into the routine of things. But maybe the ministry, the organized ministry that you're in, isn't opened up yet. But let me remind you, Matthew 5:16 is still there. We need to make sure that we are spreading the gospel, that we're spreading that light in this dark world, so that way they can see and glorify God in heaven. Maybe your situation has nothing to do with this COVID-19. Maybe you've had to change your ministries because of your life situation, your work situation, a ministry that maybe you once were involved in, you're not able to be involved in it. But just because your ministry has changed doesn't mean that you should stop ministering. Find some ministry, find something that you can do to make sure that we're all doing Matthew 5:16. God really hit me on that I'm thankful for this church, love the bus route, but even when that becomes limited, I still have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility. And I just challenge you that if you've recently had to change ministries, are you ministering? Are you doing something? If not, then let me challenge you through God challenging me. Matthew 5:16 still exists.